advent of Pac-Man, characters have played a pivotal role in video games. They've come in all shapes, sizes, and personalities, and good characters serve to make the game better. Now, I've already talked about the characters I hate, but what about the other side of the spectrum? I'd say it's time I talked about the ones that I absolutely love. And since it's my 30th birthday, I decided to up the ante and talk about my top 30 favorite characters in gaming. So consider this my birthday gift to you. You all know the rules, so if you're all ready, it's game time! I like to think that I'm a mature gamer. My taste in characters pretty much runs the gamut. And considering I'm a guy, I can respect a woman who can kick butt and look good doing it. On that note, first up is Bayonetta. Okay, you Tumblr social justice wankers can call me out all you want, but Bayonetta is a character that appeals to me for reasons other than the obvious. Well, yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous and she plays it up like there's no tomorrow, but there's a lot more than that to her character. After all, a femme fatale is more than just looks. She loves toying with both friend and foe, both in her trademark playful manner, and is able to keep her cool in the toughest situations. Also, while at first she comes off as cold and nonchalant, she gradually begins to show a more caring side, particularly towards Cereza and Luca. Then there's how she plays, which some people consider a Rule 63 of Dante from Devil May Cry, but still retains its own originality. Considering that she has guns for heels and can summon giant demons from the hair that makes up her suit, original is an understatement here. There is a reason she made a cameo in The Wonderful 101. Trust me, unlocking all those bottle caps was well worth the trouble to unlock this vixen. Also, why are people complaining about her short hair in the sequel? That's about as dumb as people complaining about the new Dante's hair instead of something worth complaining about, like, oh, I don't know, his personality?
Fuck you!
Hey, I calls him like I sees him.
Nitpicks about her hair aside, Bayonetta is fun, flirty, and definitely flashy, and someone who loves what she does. And besides, how many characters do you know that make glasses look good?
Don't fuck with a witch.
Ah, Kirby. I just love this little guy. And seriously, what's not to love? Yeah, I'll admit he's not the most complex character on this list. I mean, his design is just a spear with a face and some stubby arms and legs. But not every character I love has to have a complicated backstory or motivations or anything like that. I might as well start with the most obvious reason of all. This guy is just so friggin' cute! I mean, come on, I dare you not to look at this guy and not crack a smile. Of course, all this cuteness hides the fact that this guy is one of the most dangerous things ever given pixel form. I swear, Kirby's stomach contains a portal to another dimension. Said dimension probably extracts the essence of any enemy he inhales, resulting in those awesome copy abilities of his, which I covered in my first ever countdown. Don't watch that list, it's a piece of crap. Not to mention that Kirby has dealt with all kinds of chaos throughout his history. Nightmares, witches, sorcerers, eldritch abominations, all of them crumble before the super tough Pink Puff. I mean, who else will travel to the edge of the galaxy and kick all kinds of ass just because someone took his last piece of cake? Also, Kirby has a quality that I find rare in a character with such a long life. I honestly don't think he's ever been in a legitimately bad game. I don't know about you, but considering the guy's been sucking in awesomeness and blowing out epicness for more than 20 years, that's quite an accomplishment. Aw, who's a widow badass? Who's a widow badass? You are, Kirby. Yes, you are. Wait, hold on, wait, no! What do you do when your planet's army can't handle an invasion by anthro-monkeys? What do you do when a reptilian tyrant needs overthrowing? What do you do when an alien hive mind is threatening the galaxy? You call on the Fox. I couldn't in all good conscience deny Fox McCloud a spot on this list, and no, it's not because of how popular he is with the Smash crowd. For those who don't know, Fox is the leader of the toughest band of mercenaries in the Lylat system, Star Fox. Carrying on the legacy of his father, Fox is always ready to fight for the freedom of the galaxy if the price is right. One thing I love about Fox is how he's able to manage himself in a wide range of situations. When he's not blasting Venomonium plebs to polygonal chunks in his trademark R-Wing, he's going planetside in the Landmaster, patrolling the oceans in the Blue Marine, and even hoofing it, or pawing it, when the situation calls for it. He's also proven himself as an extremely capable commander. His leadership was instrumental in the downfall of Andross, thwarting Starwolf, defeating Andross again, resolving the Saurian conflict, defeating Andross yet again, exterminating the Aporoids, and bringing an end to the Anglar crisis. He's also a fan favorite among Smash players, mainly because of how quick he is and how much pain his attacks can deal out. It's gotten to the point where the more obstinate among the Smash fanbase sometimes refuse to play as anyone but him. Whether he's shooting down alien scum or clashing with Nintendo's best, you can always count on Fox to get the job done when it counts. Now, if only we could get a new Star Fox game. Thank you, Miyamoto! Before BlazBlue carved its niche into the fighting game genre with its unique characters and complicated story, there was Guilty Gear. And if we're gonna talk about badass riffs, then nobody is better to represent the series than Soul Badguy. This guy may just look like a punk, but behind that tough-looking exterior lies a battle genius and a surprisingly interesting character. Originally named Frederick, Soul was one of the scientists involved in the Gear project and is actually the original prototype Gear. Ironically, he actually created the ultimate anti-Gear weapon system, part of which is his own sword, and was a key player in the war against the Gears. In battle, Soul fights with savage fury, devastating opponents with powerful fire-based attacks with his trademark Fire Seal sword, which was replaced by a new weapon called Bullet Heaven and Exert for some reason. He can access even more power by unleashing Dragon Install, and, like every other character in the series, has a move that can take out an enemy in one shot. As far as his personality goes, Soul is not exactly a patient or friendly man, though he does have a compassionate side, as shown towards characters such as Dizzy. Perhaps the most appealing thing about Soul is the fact that he's a walking Queen reference. Soul himself is named after Freddie Mercury, his headband sports the words Rock You, his belt buckle reads Free, and his original theme, Keep Yourself Alive, is named after a Queen song. This was done on purpose, since Daisuke Ishiwatari has gone on record saying that Queen is his favorite band. Ishiwatari-san, you clever bastard, you. Soul Badguy is a character I can't help but love. He's tough, he's entertaining, he's unique, and he knows how to rock. You all know he's gonna be my main when Exert hits the States. In the early days of fighting games, main protagonists were your generic, uber-serious, gi-wearing karate dudes. So when SNK set out to create a fighting game for their new Neo Geo system in 1991, they wanted to do something different. Enter the man who would become the face of the company, Terry Bogard. Terry, also known as the legendary Wolf, was unlike any fighting game protagonist at the time. Instead of the aforementioned karate dudes, Terry went with the all-American look. Instead of deliberately training in a certain style, Terry developed his own style from growing on the mean streets of Southtown. Instead of being bland and generic, Terry is extremely laid-back, charismatic, and very likable. The only person he's ever been shown to hate is Geese Howard, and considering that cheap-ass is the one who killed Terry's father, Terry would have every right to be pissed. Even then, he tried to keep Geese from falling to his death and even took his son Rock under his wing. Another reason I like Terry is because playing as him is always fun. He's a well-balanced character, which I appreciate, and can adapt to a wide variety of situations against different fighters. One of his moves was actually inspired by basketball of all things. He's also been a fan favorite since his original debut, and is one of the few characters who has appeared in every single King of Fighters game. By the way, I'm counting him as a Fatal Fury character instead of a King of Fighters character, since Fatal Fury was his first appearance. This will come back later. Before we move on, I have to show an obligatory clip here.
Are you okay?
I'm way too amused by that. When the word assassin comes to mind, you usually think of trained murderers who can do their target in without a sound and get out before anyone realizes something's wrong. Yeah, the assassins of No More Heroes are as far removed from that as you can get. Especially the main man of the series, everyone's favorite motel-dwelling otaku, Travis Touchdown. Whereas traditional assassins dress for stealth, Travis dresses like your average all-American street punk. While traditional assassins sneak up on their prey, Travis runs in with his beam katana flailing all over the place. While normal assassins opt for silence, Travis is prone to foul-mouthed trash talk and liberally punching holes in the fourth wall. Yeah, the term lovable loser fits Travis to a T. I love how Travis enjoys the thrill of battle. I also love how Travis isn't without his standards, despite his profession. But perhaps most important is how he develops. When the series begins, Travis is just a loser looking to get to the top just so he can get some poontang. One game and an optional side quest later, he finds the head of his best friend thrown into his window courtesy of Bastard Twat Jr.'s thugs and swearing revenge. By the end of the game, he ultimately realizes that all of the killing he's done has left him empty and miserable, to the point where he wants to take down the UAA, ending with Pizza Head. In the end, Travis combines being fun to play as with being fun to watch and listen to, as well as some strong character development, a quality that we'll see plenty more of as we work our way up this list. Yeah, he gives a big fuck you to the old assassin stereotypes, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Some people fuck at funerals. I cut off heads.
Pokemon does a lot of things right for an RPG series. However, one thing that usually isn't emphasized is the story and characters. In fact, some people think there really aren't that many compelling characters in the Pokemon franchise outside of the anime. However...
I disagree.
Yeah, I said it. Colress is my favorite Pokemon character. And to all of you who think N should be on here instead, let me state my case before you stick your Zoroarks on me. Of all the Pokemon villains, Colress was the least generic in his motivations. Team Rocket? They want to get filthy rich. Team Aqua and Team Magma? Basically eco-terrorists. Cyrus and Team Galactic? Destroy and remake the universe. Lysander? Misanthropic nihilist. Jetsis? World domination. So what's this scientist's motivation? To discover how to release the full potential of Pokemon. And he doesn't care how he goes about doing it either. Steal Pokemon? Freeze an entire city? Yeah, he'll go that far in the name of research.
For science, you monster.
The interesting thing is that he doesn't have any malice to his demeanor. Even though he sees you as simply another research subject, he still shows a degree of respect towards you whenever you defeat him. Not to mention that his battle theme kicks ass. So yeah, Colress finds himself in my good graces for his fun battles as well as his interesting personality and motivations. Which makes it all the more aggravating when I learned that he was just a figurehead for that no-good, deceitful, generic, cheating, child-abusing son of a bitch! Oh, Skies of Arcadia, why don't people talk about you more often? I was introduced to this cult classic, or rather the GameCube remake, back in college, and I fell in love with it almost instantly. Vyse was a big reason for that. For one thing, the design and personality of this dashing air pirate were a welcome contrast to many JRPG protagonists of the time. He's not angsty, he's not emo, he's not depressing in the slightest. He has a voyaging spirit, he's upbeat and optimistic, and he looks fear in the face without backing down. He's also a generally friendly guy, except towards black pirates and Valuan forces. He also proves to be an exceptional leader, as he manages to unite a ragtag band of outsiders into a near unstoppable crew with simply his personality and charisma. On top of that, I love the way he fights. He uses two cutlasses that he holds like tonfas and can channel energy into them to make his attacks more powerful. Using the power of the Moonstones, he and his allies have access to a wide assortment of magical attacks. But even more impressive are his super attacks, including his signature Cutlass Fury and the awe-inspiring Pirate's Wrath. He's also a superb commander, as shown in the game's signature ship battles. Whether it's enemy pirates, Valuan battleships, or even giant monsters, Vyse and his crew are always up to the challenge. This guy was so awesome, he was given a spot on the roster in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. He also happens to be my main in the game. Vyse is courageous, charismatic, and overall just an awesome guy to be around. Unless you're standing against him, in which case there's a good chance you won't be around much longer to regret your mistake. While we're on the subject of cult classic characters, I don't think he'd get along with our next contender. What's that? You want to see another woman on this list? Fine then, your wish is granted. Say hello to everybody's hair-whipping, belly-dancing, bad guy battling, half-genie hero, Shantae. Shantae has been whipping her hair back and forth since way back in the early 2000s, and using it to smack the shit out of monsters, zealous soldiers, and clockwork pirates along the way. The guardian genie of Scuttletown, Shantae takes it upon herself to protect Sequin Land from the dastardly plans of the lady pirate Risky Boots, and she's got the skills to do it. Not only does she have her signature hair whip, she's also skilled in the use of various magical items. On top of that, she can shapeshift into various animal forms by means of belly dancing.
I couldn't make this kind of shit up if I tried, people.
But I also love Shantae's personality and development. At first, Shantae was afraid of people finding out she was only a half-genie, and in spite of her sense of justice, she was down on herself mainly because she was a half-breed. But after defeating Risky for the first time, she overcomes her anxiety and is a lot more confident by the beginning of Risky's revenge. She also cares a lot for her friends, to the point where she'd rather live with them than return to the genie realm. It's clear that they care about her as well, because even after Shantae's confidence takes a hit after her genie powers are stolen and destroyed, they're willing to help her protect the town. To put it simply, Shantae is cute, she's sexy, she's a great female protagonist, and she's a well-developed character worthy of her cult following. You go, Genie Girl! When Soul Calibur 2 was released on GameCube, I was hyped to no end. The obvious reason was because of the guest character. It wasn't long, however, before another character caught my attention. That character was Talim. Okay, I know what you're thinking right about now. You only put Talim on here because of WeDude83, didn't you? Look, I know all about his Soul Calibur characters list, but believe me, I knew about Talim long before YouTube even existed. For starters, I found her to be incredibly fun to play as. Her weapons are 2 elbow blades which she wields with incredible dexterity. She's also extremely nimble and she can run circles around opponents between combos. She's a character who's easy to get into but difficult to master. Just the kind of character I like playing as. Then there's her personality, which makes her even more likable. I won't go too much into the specifics because, let's face it, that's been done already, but her personality makes her stand out among the rest of the cast, and for that matter, among most fighting game characters in general. Her soul is said to be filled with purity, and that describes her perfectly. Despite being a fighter, she has a kind and compassionate personality. Think Hardai, but even better. Even though she wants to destroy Soul Edge, she's doing it for the good of the world instead of personal glory. Also, the way she interacts with other characters is less bring it on, I'ma kick your butt, and more I'd rather not fight you if I can help it, but if I have to, I won't hold back. She's a character who cares, which is something I can appreciate. Which is why I will never forgive Namco for cutting her out of Soul Calibur 5! Granted, I never played 4, but still!